Hey guys, hi, welcome back once again. My name is Vaishali, and today I'd like to talk in keeping with the last video that I had uploaded with regards to happiness and how happiness is essentially a state of continuous, constant, consistent work. So let's once again define what happiness is. Happiness, a transient emotional state triggered by external events, people, places, and things. Originally coming from the word happenstance, which invariably means something that happens once in a while. So when I say that happiness is on one hand happenstance, which means that it happens once in a while, and then on the other hand, happiness is about constant, consistent, continuous work. How do they coexist together? How is it that this thing happens sometimes and yet it requires work? Yet it requires making choices. And in my understanding, life happens and is lived in paradoxes. And probably it is these paradoxes that makes it somewhat conflicting and yet enriching at the same time. So happiness, when we are completely dependent on somebody else for our basic survival, may not necessarily completely be our choice at that point in time, since it is dependent on external factors of people, places, and things. It is created and related to these interactions that we have with people, places, and things. It is born and co-created out of these aspects, people, places, and things that we interact with. At times reading a book, at times listening to a certain music, at times interacting with a friend, at times painting, at times watching movie, at times exercising can create that transient experience of happiness. And yet, on the other hand, when I say it's work, it is actually work when we are not dependent completely on our survival on somebody else. When our basic existence is not in question, when we are not in circumstances wherein our life is threatened on an everyday basis, when our survival is threatened on an everyday basis. And over here, I do realize when I say that our survival is not threatened by external factors, because some people can assume that we never know how our life or how long our life is going to be. We really don't know if it is going to be the last breath that we take. So survival that way is always in question, but survival from the outside attacks, from the outside influences, from people, places, and things. So survival in keeping with that is something that I'm talking about over here. So when that aspect of us through the external factors is not threatened, then happiness is a choice that we got to make moment after moment after moment. And since it is in relation to the external factors, we have the choice to choose our circumstances, to create and recreate our environments that help us not only feel safe, but help us thrive and grow at the same time. And since it's a pursuit, it's almost a chase. A chase can never happen without an action backed by it. Since it's a desire that we all have, it cannot really take place unless some action is put into creating it. Because as much as every desire might be the root cause of all suffering, every desire is also the root cause of all creativity. Every desire is also the root cause of recreation, recreation. And we can always choose to experience happiness as happenstance, which happens sometimes and then it goes away, and that's okay too. Or we can make choices with regards to creating spaces, places, and interactions wherein we actually have to do the work to create happiness for ourselves and for others that we share with. And that is why probably they also say, खुशियां बांटने से बढ़ती हैं. Let's try and ponder upon that a little more. Let's try and see how we can take actions to create that for ourselves, or do we choose to live through happenstance? Let's try and work on that, and I will see you once again the next week. Till then, stay tuned in. And guys, if you do like the contents of my videos, please do like, share, and subscribe. And remember, happiness can happen through happenstance, or it's a choice. It's a work in progress.